It is currently 11:04 p.m. on November 22nd. I just want to say hello to everyone. My name is Micaiah. If you guys don't know, welcome back to my podcast where I just talk about anything and everything on my mind with very few talking points. Today's episode will be about gratitude, and particularly gratitude to self. I just finished journaling after, I wouldn't say a long day, but a pretty long day. I've been up since like 7 o'clock actually. And I'm literally almost at the end of my journal, and I've had this journal since last year. The exact date is the 27th of December, to be very exact. And I just want to thank myself because I have been journaling almost every single day for almost a year. With the exception in July, I did miss like a week of journaling or two, like 1.5 weeks of journaling, only because like I was like on a vacation. I was working a lot and I was too tired to write in my journal at night. I remember this one time I was trying to journal and I ended up falling asleep literally in the midst of me journaling. So that's when I had to take a break, just enjoy and be present in where I was at. But I want to say thank you to myself because we really made it here. We really made it. We're still alive. You know, a few years ago, I really didn't think that I would make it to the age of 20. A few months ago, I didn't even think I would make it to the end of this year. And I just want to say thank you to myself for pushing and just keep going and knowing that we have a goal and we want ourselves to be in a certain position because we know we'll be happy there. Of course, thank you to the universe and thank you to my ancestors. Thank you to God for also, getting me here as well. But this is really for gratitude of self. I was very consistent with journaling this year, and I'm very, very proud of myself for that because last year I stopped journaling for about 2 months, and then I was extremely depressed last year around this time. It wasn't one of the best times, honestly. And I was just reading one of my old prompts, not my old prompts, but like one of my journal entries from September, very recent, but not extremely recent, but recent enough. And I read about a part where I said that I haven't felt homesick. And it hit me that the reason I'm from New York, I'm from the Bronx, shout out to the Bronx, period. But the reason why I haven't felt homesick, like wanting to go back home to New York, because that has been my home for like almost 9 years. I'm currently I'm a junior in college. Oh my fucking God. I've only said that like a few times, but wow. Oh my gosh. The way the time flies is crazy, man. I'm a junior in college. I literally remember the day I graduated. It did not feel so long ago, man. Wow. Oh my God. I remember I was saying that I've been in New York since I was in the 7th grade. So 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, freshman, sophomore, senior. Whoa, hold on. We gotta count that again. Hold on. I'm not good at math, y'all. Please don't judge me. So we have 7th, 8th, 9th, 10, 11, 12, freshman, sophomore. I've been in New York for about 9 years time. And almost damn near 10 years, a fucking decade. I would have been sick if I stayed there 1 more year. But all that time I realized that it just hit me when I read about the homesick part that I wrote in my journal is that New York hadn't felt like home for a very long time for me. I wasn't particularly happy that we were moving to New York when my mom told us. But I wasn't entirely upset. No, I'm lying. I'm so lying. I was kind of upset about it. But I felt like it was the best choice. I'm not going to lie. But it didn't bring us the best, And I did love New York. I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx. I was born in the Bronx, but I want to say I didn't grow up there, but I spent other times early on in my life living in two other states, Maryland and Georgia. And then we ended up moving back to New York. So New York hadn't felt like home for a very long time for me. I feel like during the pandemic, maybe even before the pandemic, New York really wasn't home to me. And even though like earlier this year, or actually late last year, I kind of thought that I was going to stay in New York. And I'm so glad that I didn't. I feel like I'm flourishing in Seattle. I know that I'm flourishing in Seattle. That's what I manifested. And it's just so crazy to me how I never realized that New York hadn't felt like home. And I was forcing myself to enjoy it. Forcing myself to like it because I was infatuated with the fact that I lived in the city. And I love the city, you know. It will always be part of me. It will be, you know, it was my home at some point. I did enjoy living there, but I can't fathom myself living there anymore or even missing it a tad bit. You know, Seattle is not that much different from New York, but it's completely different. It's a different vibe. It's a different environment. Honestly, the people are completely different. Way nicer than New York City. And that's no problem. I understand New York is like hardcore and stuff like that. But it's amazing to not have to be on your toes 24/7. And, you know, like always kind of be rough around the edges. And I adapt to my environments very quickly. Thank you, 1111. I adapt to my surroundings very, very quickly, very easily. It's not hard for me to adapt. And I feel like that is kind of a trauma response, but we're not going to get into that in this episode. And like I said, it's easy for me to adapt. And when I got to New York, it took me a minute, but I adapted to being like a rough around the edges kind of person, you know, like making sure that no one could get one up on me. But here, you know, I don't have to worry about that. You know, it's very calm. Not very on high alert. Even though the area that I live in isn't the best in Seattle, it's not the worst either. And I don't have to constantly be on my guard, looking out for people. You know, make sure no one's going to try to run up on me. Except for, like, the crackheads that be roaming around the city. But that's nothing new, you know. I'm more talking about the people, not really, like, the crackheads part, even though crackheads are people, but you guys get what I'm saying. You guys get what I'm talking about. But yeah, like, I would just want to, it's amazing. The vibe is amazing here. I love it here. I'm so glad to call Seattle my home. I'm so thankful and so grateful. And that's when we're going back to gratitude. Like, I'm so proud of myself for achieving this goal that I wanted for so long. You know, I never knew that I was going to move to Seattle until the beginning of this year. Honestly, I wouldn't say that it came out of the blue, but it came out of the blue. I'm going through my journal now, and I'm looking at the first pages when I knew that my time was up in New York, when it was time for me to go. And I promise you, I literally just picked Seattle. I don't know what it was. I had a calling, and that calling was Seattle. Is Seattle. You know, I really can't tell you what happened that particular day that I wrote this journal entry. I promise you, I can't even tell you. But when I did, I stuck with it. I manifested the fuck out of it. And a lot of people don't believe in manifesting or don't know how to manifest. I just want to say that truthfully it worked for me. And I definitely recommend everybody to manifest. You know, I don't know if you guys would be interested in a episode of me talking about my manifestation journey and things that I've manifested and things that I wanted and how I got it. and how long it really took me to achieve it. But if you are interested, please let me know. I would love to do something like that. But yeah, man. It feels so surreal knowing that earlier on this, literally in January, bruh. Literally in fucking January. Literally in fucking January, I did not know that I was going to live in Seattle. But I knew it was time to go. So I'm proud of myself for taking this leap of faith, because that's what it was. Taking this leap of faith, taking this journey, and allowing myself to truly be the most vulnerable, to truly be the most real, to truly be the most present in every aspect of my life. And it was hard before I left, like I literally, like I said earlier on, I didn't even think that I would make it to the end of this year, because I was in that mode of, I was depressed in August, like end of July, mainly August though. I was depressed because I did not want to be at home. Like home wasn't good to me. No tea, no shade for real, but all tea and all shade for real. Like, it was crazy. And I want to thank myself for pushing through and knowing that we can't stop here. It doesn't end here. You have to keep going. And of course, I've had people encouraging me, and I had people making sure that I was okay and checking up on me. And I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful for that. I needed that at that time. I needed that words of encouragement to help me, to help myself be like, Micaiah, this is not the end for you. We're almost there, babe. We're almost fucking there. We're almost fucking there, bruh. It's been a roller coaster, my life. We're not here to talk about my life right now, but it's been a fucking roller coaster. I really want to thank Micaiah, for real, because she got us here. She got us here. Y'all probably like, why the fuck is she talking about herself in third person? I believe fully that I am my person, but my person is also a person. I feel like I have like an ego side, and then I have a soul side. My soul side is Micaiah. So when you hear me refer to Micaiah, that's what I'm talking about. My ego side, you're going to hear me talk a lot like me. They, she. Micaiah is a really strong-willed, determined young woman living her life the way that she always dreamt it to be. And even though it's not all peaches and cream, it is all cookies and cakes. That was a terrible little metaphor. Please don't clown me on it, please. I didn't want to say peaches and cream again, so I had to come up with something real quick. But yeah, Micaiah is amazing. She's so lovable, so strong. And I couldn't be more grateful to have a person like her on my side. I love Micaiah, and Micaiah loves me. I write that in my journals. It's something very recent, but I feel like I said, I'm talking to myself, but I'm also talking to my person. So yeah, that's gonna conclude this episode of Gratitude Towards Self. Thanks for listening and just listening to me rant about talking about my life and myself. Yeah. This is gotta be like one of my shorter episodes, but I do appreciate y'all taking your time and taking like about 16 minutes out of your day to listen to me talk about literally anything and everything. I'm gonna end this right here, and I want to say once again thank you for all the listens and all the love that you guys have been showing me and giving me. Until next time.